So it's always a conundrum, or whatever the word is, a dilemma as to when I'm going to film a video, because there has to be inspiration, it has to be real, right? So, and when I'm a little more emotional, or when the idea is floating in my head, it's better. So I'd like to kind of do that. Whereas if I have it in notes, I have a few things I want to upload, but it's a pickle, I'll tell you. But so I already have a title of this video. I started to do some thumbnails just to kind of jazz it up a bit. I don't see any difference in viewership because of that, but who knows. I do have the Instagram channel. I started putting quotes. I started stealing quotes from other channels and putting it up on mine, and then that's how I'm starting, just slowly. Then I'll try the live video again, hopefully not get it on the wrong IG channel, and kind of link them both up. So the title of this video is When the Narcissist Doesn't Get the Memo. So my anxiety of these past few days, so I'm cooking at the same time, trying to. Got some tofu. Gotta get the bok choy. I'm gonna put you right there. Just bok choy. I know it's a mess over there. Bear with me. No, I don't need sauerkraut. I have some avocado. I'm gonna have an avocado while I cook it. I'm just not gonna put it in there. I keep the avocados in the fridge to when they're ripe, so that they stop overdoing it. You know, it kind of freezes it in a way. So I got the bok choy. Some pre-made noodles from Chinatown. I have some dried seaweed. I don't know if I'm going to put some of that in there. No, I keep that for something else. I have some... Actually, I want this flavor. You know, when you have like egg roll, like sweet and sour sauce. I had a hankering for that. A hankering. Then I got some... Oh, I forgot. I still had some of this miso. A little bit left. I'll put that in for salty. And where's the garlic at? I had... Oh, I had another thing. Did I buy 3? I think I did. Oh. Got some garlic. I don't have any more of the shallots, but... I'll take out an onion, and yeah, I'll be fine. And then just put it together, because I'm hungry. Just came home from the gym. But yeah, there we go. So my biggest anxiety as of late was because the tax forms were due for ex-employees, especially ex-employees who were problematic, you know. I guess the same thing could be said for millennials, I don't know. But psychologically damaged, in the sense that they think they have to push to make me react. Right? So what I did, even the CEO who owns the franchises that I've almost 90% got rid of, there's still a lot of financial crap I got to go through. So yeah, I've just stopped contacting all of them, except for one guy, because I see him at my gym. So I was able to contact him when he contacted me. And that's about it. And I contacted my lawyer, and they're all done. I'm just going to get the digital copies on... I didn't put the heat on Monday. Then I have to chop them up because my accountant doesn't know computers. It's too laborious. But he, you know, I guess he did the crux of it all. And so I just have to chop it up, take a print screen of all the T4s, which is Canadian tax slips, and chop it up in, take a print screen, chop it up in paint, and send it to the appropriate employee. And that's it. So I don't need to contact anyone. If people want their peace of mind, well, they have to deal with their peace of mind. It's not like I'm not going to do it. And they're not owing money, so it doesn't matter if they're past the deadline. And I don't need to tell them that. They need to calm down. They need to realize I ain't contacting them. So deal with their own anxiety. Because it's too much with me. Because with anyone like that, it's like you could say whatever you want, and it doesn't matter. It's what they want, and that's it. So I don't feel it. But I don't say it doesn't get me angry. I'm really angry. But my goal is to not explode on these people. So just leave them be. And deal with everything as one thing at a time. And deal with this shit. So I love avocados when they're really smooth. They're tasty. So anyway, okay. So my third YouTube channel is a cooking channel, which I attempted a couple of years ago, just to get it started in case I get momentum and I start doing it. And I took a lot of footage, and I stopped uploading it. But I could always go back to it. But it's called One Pan Cooking, and it has 1 subscriber on it, which was a former personal training client of mine, who's actually from the US, and she was living here for a little bit. It's kind of funny. So that's it. Keep it simple. I put everything into one pot on the most, and I cut everything with my thumb and my finger. There was an old, I was going to say an old lady, but an old channel of an old lady. She was like in her late 90s, and she finally died. Not saying that facetiously, but you know, she died. But her son was filming her cooking, like in the Depression, and that's how she was doing it, you know, just one, you know, her hands and her knife, instead of getting the chopping board, which I don't have space because it's just too much for me at this point in time to keep up. I'm just gonna get the other. I wish this was live. You could tell me what I just did with the garlic, the big head of garlic. I just took one off, and I can't find it. I have the onion. I have this. Because this is a cheap double boiler. No, it's not a double boiler, but it's got 2 sections. So, got it real cheap in Chinatown. Does the trick. So I do everything double. I just want to find what I did with that garlic head. You're gonna see me rolling around all weird and stuff. I could take out another one. I have others, but This is what happens when I haven't eaten. Alright, well, I'm going to take this onion. It can't be far, because, I mean, this place isn't big. I didn't bring it to the bedroom. So I'm just going to take the onion. So I think I could start doing lives on YouTube. I'm not sure. I might have to enable it. But at this point in time, I think it's just that it won't be enough people to go on it at a specific time, but then they can watch it later. Oh, this thing is starting to heat up. We'll see. I do lives on Instagram, as you may have known. This would be a good thing to do on my fitness channel. I chose this channel. That's the thing, like, having enough content to put on several channels is kind of a challenge too. Especially when you're dealing with motivation. Sure, everyone scripts everything, but I don't at this point in time. I do have some ideas, but I had more ideas before. Now I just don't. I don't do that. I just keep it real and keep it as close to real time as possible. So now I'm just chopping up some onion. Don't look at this mess here. I keep things really closed and contained. So I just kind of divvy it up into both sides. I realize it takes it takes hand control to be able to do this without cutting yourself. Still trying to figure out where the garlic is. So, if you haven't figured it out, I don't eat meat. Maybe once a year. Maybe. Once every 6 months, if that. Just because. But the reason being, this is like rock solid. See if I can cut it. It's old. But it's still okay. This needs to be rehydrated back in this. That's the reason why I don't eat meat, is because I could buy things and then leave it around and I could still use it. Meat, you can't do that. So okay, I'm gonna give it one more try. Maybe I somehow put the meat in a cupboard. Not the meat, the garlic. Or did it fall on the floor? No. Give it a look-see. Go to the bathroom and look. Take a spoon. Sometimes it just comes. It just pops up out of nowhere when I misplace something. But this time it hasn't. So I'm going to have to take garlic from another clove. And a few others. Now the trick is to not let this get to me and be on my mind all day. It's just a garlic clove, or a garlic, I don't know what you call a whole bunch of cloves in one. Because sometimes I'll be ruminating about that. I'll be like, where is it? Where is it? And try to rack my brain, because I don't forget much. I forget things, misplace things maybe 4 times a year. And it does get to me. I guess it goes on my perfectionism list that I can't be doing things like that. But then I have to be lighter on myself with regards to that. So the garlic is here, the one I'm using now, so I don't misplace it. I'm still looking around for it. I'm still looking around. But I'm going to lower the heat. I did. Okay, I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put the greens, which is the bok choy, in. How are we for? Yeah, we're still filming. I'm going to put the noodles in afterwards because the noodles are already soft. That's how they're kind of made. They're not dried. So I'm just cutting up all the bok choy. And the tofu is the softer kind, so I just put it in for the protein. It's not the solid kind, so, and it's cheaper than the solid kind, and it comes in a nice container that I could keep using if I want to. So it's just, there's no it's from Chinatown. There's no covering to it, in the sense that you could easily take off the cover, and there's no, it's not hermetically sealed. So that's Chinatown for you, which is fine. They save money. But there's a whole lot, it's all in a whole bunch of liquid. So I'm just going to put this in. And yes, I'm still thinking about that garlic. It's like once, it happened a few years ago, I lost a $20 bill right after I bought something, and I had to look for change, and then afterwards I'm like, did the guy just pretend to not have the 20 and lost it or whatever? It's hard to get some of that stuff out of your head, you know? In the grand scheme of things, it's little, you know. It's not Alzheimer's. It's just you gotta choose what you keep in your head, and sometimes it's easier to do than other times. But I am looking, since I'm here. It usually just pops up in places that you don't realize. that's it. I'm just going to finish cooking this. I'll see you next time.